Hello, I am Tarık Toros. Welcome to What's Happening in Turkey. Turkey hacked. Diploma fraud reaches the palace. This week, Turkey was rocked by one of the most staggering scandals in its modern history, one that has exposed the total collapse of state data security. An organized shadow network operating deep inside public institutions used Turkey's e-signature system, the backbone of official transactions, to steal personal details of targeted officials. With these stolen credentials, they forged every type of state document imaginable, the most explosive being fake university diplomas. The stolen data wasn't limited to schools. It spanned the ministries of education and health, the tax authority, universities, the social security institution, land registries, population directorates, transportation toll systems, and even the addresses of intelligence officers. Also taken vehicle ownership records, property deeds, medical histories, prescription details, and exam results. Once they had the data, the group could produce ID cards, driver's licenses, and most lucratively diplomas from Turkey's most prestigious universities. They didn't just print them. They infiltrated the university's IT systems, inserted the forgeries into official archives, and uploaded them to Turkey's national e-government portal, making the fake degrees indistinguishable from real ones. For example, a client would pay for a diploma from a top university. The network would obtain the e-signatures of authorized officials, approve the degree in the university system, and sync it with the national database so any check by employers, institutions, or even courts would confirm it as authentic. The Interior Ministry says 37 people were arrested in early year raids, but there has been no action against senior officials, including those in the Information and Communication Technologies Authority, BTK, who were supposed to protect these systems. The Turkish Bar Association found the scheme had penetrated 3 universities and 15 law faculties. The network even altered records of 3 lawyers who had died in the February 2023 earthquake, replacing names and the photos to reuse their identities. High-profile political names are now under suspicion. Ömer Fatih Sayan, Deputy Transport Minister and former BTK chief, allegedly obtained 6 undergraduate diplomas plus 2 masters and 2 doctoral degrees this way. 4 of the bachelor's degrees have quietly vanished from his CV. Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan and Deputy Foreign Minister Nuh Yilmaz face allegations from opposition figure Namık Tan that their degrees are questionable. Tan points out that the University of Maryland Global Campus did not offer the degree Fidan claims to have earned in the 1990s. President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan is again facing scrutiny over his own diploma. Under Turkey's constitution, the presidency legally requires a 4-year degree. Multiple versions of Erdoğan's diploma from Marmara University have surfaced over the years, with mismatched fonts, signatures, and dates. CHP Deputy Leader Deniz Yavuz Yılmaz recently declared, "We are close to proving Erdoğan's university diploma is fake." This scandal strikes at the heart of Turkey's rule of law, raising questions not only about education fraud, but about the integrity of every record in the state's digital archives. YouTube's most watched journalist silenced. The week's second bombshell came from the crackdown on Fatih Altaylı, one of Turkey's most influential independent journalists. With 1.65 million subscribers and 28 million monthly views, his YouTube channel was the most watched in the country as of July. Altaylı was arrested for allegedly threatening President Erdoğan during a broadcast on 20th of June, a charge he strongly denies, saying his remarks were legitimate political criticism that prosecutors distorted. Despite posing no flight risk and with no evidence to tamper, he was jailed. From prison, his team kept the channel alive. showing his empty chair as colleagues read letters he sent from behind bars. A symbolic act that quickly went viral, but authorities escalated. At the request of the Istanbul Chief Public Prosecutor's Office, a court ordered his channel blocked entirely and all its content removed. For a country already ranking near the bottom in global press freedom indexes, the Altaylı case is another reminder that digital platforms are no longer safe havens for dissent. Official coup narrative collapses in court. The third major event of this Black Week came from the long-running trial over the 15th of July 2016 coup attempt, a night that reshaped Turkey's political landscape and has been used ever since to justify mass purges. For 9 years, the official narrative has been that Akın Öztürk, then Air Force commander and member of the Supreme Military Council, was the number one coup plotter. But this week, for the first time, his full defense reached the public. Öztürk says he learned of the coup while at his daughter's home, confirmed by phone records and CCTV. He went to Akıncı Air Base only on the orders of then Chief of General Staff Hulusi Akar and Air Force Commander Abidin Ünal, tasked with persuading coup participants to surrender. In court, Öztürk accused top generals of scapegoating him. On 15th of July, I followed every single order from Hulusi Akar, yet somehow one of us became the hero of 15th of July and the other became the so-called number one suspect. Would anyone try to stage a coup with just 12 planes and a few helicopters? I'm not that stupid. Hulusi Akar, Yaşar Güler and Abidin Ünal threw the blame on me. 9 years have passed and I am still waiting for them to come here and tell the truth. The fact that his statement was amplified this week, including by MP Ömer Faruk Gergerlioğlu, who attended the hearing, signals cracks in a story the government has tightly controlled for nearly a decade. I am Tarık Toros. This has been What's Happening in Turkey. See you next week.